called this press conference to talk about an event from last night. We had protesters across the street at the INyMS parking lot. I have my PO provide you with times and all that stuff after this press conference. But we had protesters lined up across the street here at INyMS parking lot. For the majority of the night, they were all peaceful. In fact, they began blocking our streets out here on South Florissant Road. We allowed the protesters to block our streets out here. Not only did we allow the protesters to block our street, we even provided a car on the north end and on the south end, so the protesters couldn't get hit by vehicles. Sometime throughout the night, the protesters were violently shaking our fence at this police station. Again, we did not even react. We stayed here, let them shake the fence. That happened several times throughout the night, up until the point that they broke the bottom portions of our fence. They destroyed property on our police department's parking lot. It was at that time I sent out an arrest team to make an arrest for destruction of property. My team got out there and was assaulted by a number of the protesters that were out there on the scene. As a result, one of my police officers suffered a severe brain injury. He is at an area hospital right now, fighting for his life. And I'm gonna break away a little bit from what I was planning to talk about. This police department, this Ferguson Police Department, since 2014, has been a punching bag for this community. The police department back in 2014, we don't even have them officers here anymore. So what are you protesting? These officers not even here no more. Everything that the activist community has advocated for, as far as body-worn cameras, implicit bias training, crisis intervention training, all this stuff, we have done all of this. What are we protesting? What is it? We even changed the uniforms at this police department because people said that the old uniforms triggered people. What are we doing? 10 years later, I got an officer fighting for his life. It's enough, and I'm done with it. We're not doing it here in Ferguson. Our community is united behind us. Our community is fed up. We want to heal. Our community want to heal. We want people to peacefully protest, but we damn sure ain't going to allow you to destroy this city, and we ain't going to allow you to hurt none of these police officers. We are united here in this city. We're done with it. We're not doing it anymore.
First at 5, we're learning more about the violent turn of events in Ferguson Friday night. Many community members gathered in Ferguson to mark 10 years since the death of Michael Brown. Then, just before midnight, the peaceful demonstrations became violent. 3 officers were injured Friday after protesters broke down a part of a fence that surrounds the Ferguson Police Department. One of the officers was critically injured. Officer Travis Brown is fighting for his life right now after suffering a head injury. Police say Brown was trying to arrest a protester when he was pushed to the ground. The accused protester has been identified as Elijah Gant. He is now in custody and faces multiple charges. Today, we're learning a lot more about Officer Travis Brown's time serving in the St. Louis area. He joined the Ferguson Police Department in January of this year. Hours ago, our Mercedes McKay spoke with the man who hired him when he was with St. Louis County Police.
Officer Travis Brown worked as an officer for St. Louis County before he joined the Ferguson Police Department.
All right, David, you returned to Ferguson just a couple of days ago, but I know you've read over this evidence that the grand jury presented. The witness testimony was seemingly all over the place, which created reasonable doubt, and reasonable doubt is not enough for a conviction.
It starts with a lie. It is a lie. Hands up, don't shoot is a lie perpetuated by Michael Brown's accomplice in the robbery, Dorian Johnson. So let's call it what it is. All of this hands up, don't shoot needs to go away. It had nothing to do with this. We now have the evidence from the grand jury. We have the witnesses who changed their statements. We have the testimony of witnesses. And it's been turned from what was an incident between 2 people. There was a bolo for them. The officer spotted the cigarillos. He went out, he saw someone, they were walking down the middle of the street. That incident led to an encounter, led to a violent encounter between the officer, led to a lie. All of this is cooked up, hands up, don't shoot, because of a lie. Michael Brown was not the victim. The original police report, there's only one, says victim, Officer Darren Wilson, and suspect, Michael Brown.
After 7 months of investigations and protests, it turns out that hands up, don't shoot apparently never happened.
No, but it was convenient.
I recognize that the findings in our report may leave some to wonder how the department's findings can differ so sharply from some of the initial, widely reported accounts, yet it remains not only valid, but essential to question how such a strong alternative version of events was able to take hold so swiftly.
Outrage in Ferguson, Missouri after police shot and killed an unarmed teenager Saturday afternoon.
Say hands up, don't shoot.
I want you to know that our hearts,
Black Lives Matter.
hands up, don't shoot, are out there marching with them.
His hands were up.
The execution of Michael Brown.
Very public body of evidence.
When he turned and faced him and put his hands up.
Putting their hands up, don't shoot.
Where are all the white people who reach for guns? Hands up!
Amounts to an execution.
Hands up!
No justice, no peace.
Michael Brown was executed.
It looks like they might have killed another unarmed black teen. Don't shoot.
Michael Brown was shot and murdered.
Let people peacefully protest the murder.
What seems to me to be a cold-blooded murder.
Don't shoot! Hands up! Don't shoot! Hands up! Don't shoot!
Murder